Hello and welcome to your 2018 Sagittarius Great Mother Speaks full moon reading. This year it is on May 29th. Great Mother speaks to those of us who are experiencing mama drama trauma. This deck and these readings are specifically designed to offer clarity, balance, and confirmation to those of us consistently and persistently experiencing abandonment or abuse from the mother or maternal figures that impact our lives today. This person could have abandoned us in childhood or could abandon us in adulthood through addictions or through death. This is not about blame or shame. This is about identifying how we feel as a distinct human being from the issues, unhealed issues, traumas imposed upon us in childhood. I am Tammy Taylor, an inner work life coach specializing in mama drama trauma condition, in which the mother projects unhealed aspects of herself onto her child, causing emotional and or physical trauma. Now, in cases where the mother is unable, unwilling, or unavailable to heal, loving detachment is required. So we talk about that in the readings. We deal with mothers oftentimes who change like the phases of the moon, and so it's difficult for us to distinguish how we feel from our mothers. And so these lunar readings are designed to cultivate, to nurture, and to actually grow and evolve the space within us to have the ability to do that for ourselves. We look at the sidereal, the soul sign. So the sidereal moon sign, this full moon is in Scorpio, in the nakshatra of Anudra, that vivacious, creative, caring, stellar mansion in the sky that the moon will be in as it is reflecting the light of the sun in Taurus in the nakshatra, the beautiful, enhancing, gracious Rohini, this composure riddled, compassionate, devoted, noble energy of the sun. So we look at the soul astrology, the sidereal, to ascertain that soul space. So if you are Sagittarius, that means that more than likely your sidereal sign is in Scorpio, making this your first house, and also your halfway mark of your lunar new year. Be sure to check out in the playlist your lunar new year readings if that hasn't happened for you yet. Stay tuned, because every new moon marks the lunar new year for your new moon sign. So the Taurus lunar new year readings have just been posted, and the Geminis will be coming up. Of course, that is Taurus Gemini with the Taurus in the sidereal. Now, these are posted according to your Western. If you're new with us, want to be sure that you understand that the full moon in terms of Great Mother is really focusing on really paying attention to what those new moon intentions were that you set. We've been doing some readings that focused on those new moon wishes. Great Mother offered 5. It suggested that 10 be a maximum. Want to do some research on that? Go to greatmotherspeaks.info/vlog to see what those suggested new moons readings have been for the last 2 months. We're going to kind of move away from that. As you practice on your own, you gain your own rhythm, you gain your own stance of understanding how that energy works. These readings will make a lot more sense to and for you. With this full moon, we're really looking at the cleansing, purification aspect of what has come forward as a result of your new moon intentions. And so again, you might want to check out what those suggested ones were if you did not set them by Great Mother, and to see what is coming up in your internal life at this particular time as this full moon in Scorpio Sagittarius purifies, cleanses, and really tests the mutual feelings that you have. Now, mutual feelings have to do with, of course, our personal and professional relationships. With the moon reflecting the sun, it's always on the opposing sign that we find that solar energy. So the sun now is in that Taurus and the sidereal Gemini in the Western. So your moon sign attraction will naturally be to someone with that Taurus, Gemini, Sidereal, Western axis. Of course, the Western astrology has to do with our emotional ego energy. Western astrology is an earth-centric astrology, and we do the reading from that place to have a conscious hit from what Great Mother is saying from that deeper space, and you find what resonates best with you. So, with no further ado, here are your May full moon readings from Great Mother Speaks. Aquarius, Pisces, moon sign people. This full moon in Scorpio, Sagittarius is in your 10th and 4th houses. So most of you are Aquarius in the sidereal soul astrology. It's an omnipresent cosmic astrology in which we use here at Great Mother Speaks to look at our intuitional space. And so intuitively you download with an Aquarian type of energy that is very caring towards others based on a soul genius, a soul expression, your unique way of sharing yourself with the world is really kind of what it's about. And you receive downloads in that fashion for the most part, perhaps, and your uploads to the sidereal Aquarius energy is Piscean from the Western astrology, which is emotional, egoic, earth-centered. It's a barometer. It's a GPS system, so to speak, in which the soul is able to locate the body's frequency, where the emotional body is, which is the human experience of the soul that it is incarnated to experience. Great Mother speaks to us through the stardust that she is and the Great Father is. We're not seen as weak or as victims. These readings are given to those of us who are really in sync with that and are on a learning journey this lifetime. This time, this full moon, you're approaching it with a sense of knowing that something is amiss, but it's aligning. Things are coming together. Things are beginning to make sense to you. It's not completely clear, but it's okay. Because you know that things are shifting in your life. You don't know how things are going to work out. But with the Law of Mystery and Divine Order card, you're seeing that as things are being released, you're being regrounded in the world. You are reestablishing yourself and your identity in the world. Because the moon is in your 10th house, reflecting the sun in your 4th. This, therefore, would have to do with maybe your career, maybe what you perceive to be your life purpose. And so there's a shifting that's occurring with regard to that. And you're seeing where you need to go or why the shift is occurring as it relates to your home, as it relates to your mother as well, speaking of mama drama trauma. So there's some awarenesses, there's something that's amiss, that it's just at the tip of your tongue, it's just beyond the veil in which this full moon is being perceived. Now, your transformative opportunity is to see beyond the veil, to embrace your power that is there. It's just there. It's just beyond what you can see now, but you feel it, which is what these moon sign readings are about. In your intuitive space, this Maya new moon illusion card, since the Taurus new moon and up to the Gemini new moon about 2 weeks from now, there's going to be a transformative experience, again, if it hasn't already occurred, in which a curtain has been pulled back, a veil has been pulled back, and you have seen why things are amiss, what you are releasing in your life, and why you are releasing things in your life to redefine or to up the ante on your life purpose at this particular time. Maybe you're gaining new awarenesses about mama drama trauma, and you are allowing those awarenesses to propel you forward, and you're being rewarded in some way as a result of taking on the challenge of embracing your power beyond mama drama trauma. This is a purification process for you. This has to do with you having entered this lunar cycle from the Taurus new moon until now, this is a waxing gibbous moon, and so this is right before the full moon, Sagittarius Scorpio. So we're talking about Libra Scorpio energy here, and so it's about you entering this full moon with balancing this deep internal wisdom with coming out of the full moon with embracing your higher knowledge. So you're entering this full moon needing to be purified, needing to pull the veil. And after the full moon, you will have this clarity about what needs to happen going forward. Not in terms of what you need to do, but in terms of what needs to happen in terms of your beingness, in terms of your emotional consciousness, in terms of accepting the divine order of things that do not make sense in your life at this time, that are in fact making you rageful. Rage is suppressed anger. So emotionally speaking, you don't feel like things are going the way that they are supposed to go, perhaps, and maybe you feel victimized as a result of this. Maybe someone is trying to take something away from you at home. Maybe there are too many demands at home, and so you really can't focus on your work the way you want to. Maybe you are feeling overwhelmed by the needs of your mother, emotional needs and caretaking, which often happens with mama drama trauma, taking care of the mother, the role reversal. And it's a culmination of rage that's coming up as a result of this. And you're beginning to see the illusion that constantly wanting to make the mother better, constantly wanting to fix her is not working. And it's forcing you to accept that there's a choice that you need to make. Choices have to do with release. That's why we avoid change and choice. Those are the two things in life we avoid the most, because they require us to go a different direction internally. You know, we focus on the actual action, but internally there is a space in which there are emotions that we'd rather not deal with, and so thus repressed anger. What is the anger that you're repressing? What is the frustration that has been overlooked for you, Aquarius, Pisces, Moon people, that is now being purified? You haven't wanted to look at this. You haven't wanted to purify it. But this Sagittarius full moon is really forcing you to do that in a way that you now can see. But the question is whether or not you want to see it. Do you want to? Are you ready to recreate yourself? You have the means. With the second chakra, waxing gibbous moon, you have the means to revise, to edit yourself, to reassess your desires. The question is, are you going to make rage your ally? Are you going to transform that energy that you have now by seeing the truth, the power of that? There's always power in awareness. There's power in seeing and knowing the truth and embracing that in such a way that you can accept that this is happening for your soul evolution. There is a law. The law cards are Great Father cards. Great Father is the law, the logos, the word. There is a law of mystery and divine order that says that even though things don't make sense, quote unquote, there's a reason that they occur. And that's the young root chakra card here. That's soul purpose. 10th house. The moon is in your 10th house. Soul purpose is the purpose for your soul incarnation. Why your soul is animating your body. One day it will release your body. But right now it has chosen to animate your body for a mysterious reason. And during this full moon, a clue into that Great Mother is offering you is to recreate yourself based on the truth that you now see, your higher knowing that you have regarding what has been making you angry, what has been making you feel uprooted. You have all of these Waxing gibbous moon cards, redefining, editing, revising who you are from a security, safety, financial perspective. What is grounding you in the world? Maybe those tribal home relationships. This is home. The sun is in your 4th house. So we can say at home, there are some desires that are enmeshed with others in a way that needs to be purified, and you're not doing that out of fear. But there is a power that you have to do it. It's just a question of whether or not you will trust your gut and do so. In your shadow position, Aquarius, Pisces, moon people, is androgyne. This is the primal yin-yang energy that is within all of us to balance the imbalances that occur. And so obviously there's an imbalance with regard to the power of others in your environment as it relates to your own. So we have the single yin. That's the emotion of rage for you that's showing up with the double yang symbol. The single yin, double yang symbol is the law of destiny and free will. The law of destiny and free will is telling you that in your shadow position, you are not seeing that there is a divine order to this. You're not seeing that with your power and the transformation of your rage through accepting the truth that you can recreate yourself, you will be purified and be able to face whatever fears exist at home, in order to be rewarded at work, in order to fulfill your life purpose. And what is that life purpose? At this particular time, during this Sagittarius full moon, it's to do this. It's to consciously shift internally with regard to this work-home imbalance. That's your life purpose at this particular time, because the full moon is in your 10th house at this particular time. It's an imbalance there, and the clarity that is coming to cleanse and to purify this is testing the mutuality of feelings. There's a divergence, there's a misalignment with regard to what your needs are that is emerging. And by the end of the full moon, you can decide whether or not to continue on with feelings of victimhood, which of course is not the truth. Great Mother, Father, God do not see us as victims. And so why would you feel that way? Well, because there would not be a decision to acknowledge in the shadow that you do have the free will to address this situation. Now, addressing Sedna, crescent moon, 2nd chakra energy is about really being truthful with ourselves with regard to our hopes, our desires, our wants, and our needs. And the Sedna card also means that when we express those, we can often do so while we are feeling victimized. So you may not necessarily just sit in a soup of victimhood, but your outcome could very possibly be that you may be emotionally feeling that way. There's never any judgment or condemnation. Of course we feel that way sometimes. We feel put upon by people. But as you are doing that, you are expressing your wants, your needs, and your desires to others. And this is very possible as you take up the mantle and choose to assert your ability to create your own life. This is what Great Mother is inviting you to do at this time. Your soul is really needing you to do that, because that Aquarian energy has a gift, a talent, an ability that it wants and it needs to share with the world outside of your home environment at this time. But the home environment is restrictive, and that can be changed through your choice to clearly see what those obstacles are and to communicate your needs to go beyond those restrictions despite them. As you do your inner work, as always, remember Great Mother loves you, and I do too. For more information about Mama Drama Trauma, visit mamadramatrauma.info.